Here's another proof that the Indian Air Force totally dominated Pakistan in the recent war. Dassault Aviation, the manufacturer of Rafale fighter jets, has rubbished Pakistani claims of shooting down 3 Indian Rafale fighter jets. In fact, Dassault now claims Islamabad is factually wrong. In other words, that Pakistan's claims are just fake propaganda. This after the Indian military first destroyed 9 terror camps deep inside Pakistan, and then the Indian Air Force also hit nearly 10 Pakistani air bases with satellite proof. Pakistani claims of shooting down Indian Rafale in retaliation is just a fantasy.
It's all over the social media, on Indian social media, not on our social media.
Dassault Aviation CEO Eric Trappier declared, quote, "When the truth comes out, some people may be surprised." He added, quote, "What Pakistan is claiming about downing 3 Rafale is simply not true," unquote. Speaking on the sidelines of the Paris Air Show, the French aerospace giant repeatedly rejected Pakistani version of events as its government officials made repeated fake claims of shooting down 3 or more Indian Rafale in response to massive Indian military onslaught inside Pakistan. Trappier reiterated, "The Indians haven't communicated, so we don't know exactly what happened. What we already know is that what Pakistanis are saying is inaccurate," unquote. He clarified that Dassault had not received any official confirmation from the Indian Air Force regarding the loss of any jets, adding that fighter jets are meant to carry out high-risk missions behind enemy lines. In a subtle dig at Pakistanis, Dassault CEO stressed that the outcome of modern air operations must be judged by mission objectives and not social media disinformation. He elaborated further, stating, quote, "When you operate combat aircraft, you are carrying out a mission. The mission's success is not having 0 losses. It's having achieved its objectives." During the Second World War, it wasn't said that the Allies had lost the war because they had lost troops, unquote. This admission by Dassault is a slap to all Pakistani trolls and bots on social media who were busy making Rafale memes while their own air bases were getting the scalp and BrahMos treatment.
India again launched missile attacks, BrahMos.
Highlighting the capabilities and formidable reputation of the Rafale fighter jet, Trappier asserted, quote, "If you want a single aircraft capable of air-to-air combat, reconnaissance, ground strikes, nuclear deterrence, and aircraft carrier deployment, Rafale is unmatched," unquote. Trappier didn't just stop there. He made another bold declaration that the Rafale is, quote, "far better than anything China currently offers," hinting that the Indian Air Force has the edge over Pakistan's JF-17s and J-10s and will maintain this advantage even when Islamabad gets the Chinese J-35 stealth jet. He went on to make another bold claim, which some might find controversial. Dassault claims their Rafale is only behind the American F-22 in stealth technology and is better in real-world performance compared to the much-touted American F-35, widely considered among the best stealth fighters ever. With the British F-35 stranded for a week in Kerala, the news does give some weight to Dassault's claims. The Indian Air Force even claimed that its air defense grid identified and tracked the F-35 as it failed to land on its aircraft carrier due to poor sea conditions and requested assistance for an emergency landing in India due to fuel shortage. However, a team of British technicians also arrived to aid the aircraft but failed to take it back immediately. Clearly, the F-35 suffered a major technical issue. During India's Operation Sindoor, Dassault Aviation's stock initially plummeted due to Pakistani fake claims peddled and amplified by Turkish and Chinese social media handles. Since then, the stocks have rebounded and are near record high as Pakistani disinformation and claims have been proven to be fake. On the other hand, stocks of Avic Shenyang Aircraft Corporation, manufacturer of Chinese fighter jets J-15s and J-35s set to arrive in Pakistan have declined amid concerns over performance and strategic reliability. Now, claims of shooting down Indian jets by Pakistan Defence Minister Khwaja Asif and others were not backed by any evidence. No pilots, no eyewitnesses, no current images or videos, no electronic proof, no radar proof, just wild, sweeping claims and social media memes. But when grilled, Asif agreed Pakistan has no proof and only saw these claims on social media. In a state of frenzy, Pakistan's state broadcaster, the PTV, also peddled this fake narrative, claiming, quote, Pakistani Air Force shot down another Indian Rafale aircraft 17 nautical miles southwest of Awantipura. So far, Pakistan Air Force has shot down 5 fighter jets of the Indian Air Force. India rubbished all these Pakistani claims, and now Dassault has revealed that all that was just fake Pakistani propaganda, arguably to save embarrassment after the Indian military operation inside Pakistan. The truth is that Pakistan Air Force had been hiding for most of the conflict and failed to prevent Indian military strikes on 9 terror camps on day 1 and then hitting nearly 10 major Pakistani air bases just 2 days later. Satellite images confirmed Indian airstrikes, destroyed hangars, obliterated fighter jets and AWACS inside them, demolished control towers and cratered Pakistani runways, rendering them useless. Pakistan Air Force was knocked out of the fight in just 72 hours. Even the French military cleared the air and refused to acknowledge any unverified Pakistani claims. French military stated, quote, regarding the conflict taking place between India and Pakistan, what I mainly observe is that we are in the fog of war and that there is an intense information war. In other words, what we know most of today is that we don't know what happened. So indeed, there are a number of allegations that I will not repeat, since there is no confirmed information, unquote. India has officially stated that all of its pilots are back home and safe, which means either Pakistan only managed to damage the fighter jets or that they possibly hit unmanned drones and not fighter jets. In an interview to Bloomberg on the 31st of May, Indian Chief of Defence Staff General Anil Chauhan described Pakistan's claims that it had shot down 6 Indian fighter jets as absolutely incorrect.
There were losses, but the numbers, and that's not important.
He did accept that a couple of jets may have been down, but that India changed its tactics and hit back 2 days later with all its fighter jets. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar became the highest Indian official to address Pakistan's Rafale claims, stating, quote, as far as I am concerned, how effective the Rafale was, or frankly, how effective other systems were, to me the proof of the pudding is the destroyed and disabled airfields on the Pakistani side. The fighting stopped on the 10th for one reason and one reason only, which was that on the 10th morning, we hit these the main 8 Pakistani airfields and disabled them, unquote. Meanwhile, remnants of Chinese PL-15 air-to-air missiles were found in India's Punjab state, launched by Pakistani JF-17 and J-10 jets, which shows that these missiles failed to hit Indian jets and were either intercepted mid-air or ran out of fuel, but failed to self-destruct. Wreckage of an almost intact Chinese PL-15 missile was retrieved from Punjab's Hoshiarpur district after the full-blown confrontation with Pakistan on the 9th of May. DG Air Operations Air Marshal A.K. Bharti confirmed on the 12th of May that Chinese PL-15 missiles failed to hit any targets and were neutralized. He also admitted that in war, losses are part of combat. The Indian Air Force has not released any official details as Operation Sindoor has not officially ended. The Modi government had launched Operation Sindoor in retaliation to the brutal Pahalgam terror attack in Kashmir, when Pakistan-based terror group identified and massacred 26 Hindu tourists.
We are different from the Hindus in every possible aspect of life.
India now says that any act of terror from Pakistanis will be treated as an act of war, and Indian armed forces remain ready to retaliate with overwhelming force if needed. But what do you believe? Will Pakistan ever abandon its state policy of religious extremism? Leave a comment with your opinion, hit the like button and subscribe to Inconnect News.